When most people hear the word raptor, they picture a movie monster before they picture a real animal.
For decades, cinema has sharpened the raptor's teeth, darkened its scales, and turned it into a symbol of pure fear.
The movie Raptor is tall, scaly, and unstoppable, built to chase screaming humans down shiny corridors.
Its image has filled our screens, our toys, our nightmares, and our childhood daydreams. But behind the roar and the chase, there is a quieter, stranger truth, written in stone.
To understand the real Velociraptor, we must look past the sound effects and special effects and look closely at the fossils.
Tonight, we will walk between two worlds, the Velociraptor of film and the Velociraptor that once ran across Cretaceous sands.
The real animal was smaller, lighter, and feathered, a hunter shaped more like a dangerous bird than a movie dragon.
But first, we step onto the film set, where the legend of the movie Raptor was born.
This is Nova, the movie raptor, towering, scaly, and built to terrify.
Her every movement is choreographed, every shadow placed to make her seem more like a monster than an animal.
The camera lingers on her eyes and teeth, teaching us that fear lives in fangs and glowing pupils.
She hunts familiar objects.
One of the most famous movie Raptor scenes takes place not in a jungle, but in a kitchen.
Her claws click on the floor, each tap a warning drumbeat for the characters, and for us.
She is portrayed as a super-intelligent hunter, sniffing out hiding places that no ordinary animal would guess.
Movies give her a mind not far from ours, a puzzle solver, a door opener, a planner in the dark. She sprints like lightning, body huge yet impossibly quick, chasing jeeps and outrunning fear.
But pull the camera back, and the illusion cracks. Nova is a creation of latex, CGI, and careful lighting.
Here, among cables and cameras, we can start to ask the real question. How close is this beast to the animal it is based on? To answer, we must compare the movie Raptor with what fossils tell us about the real Velociraptor.
On screen, raptors are often shown as almost human-sized or larger, built like lean, scaled-up wolves.
In reality, a Velociraptor was closer to the size of a big turkey or dog, its head well below a human's waist.
It was lightly built and feathered, closer to a ground-hunting bird of prey than to a scaly dragon.
Even the hands in movies are twisted the wrong way. Real raptor palms faced inward, not flat like pushing on a table.
To meet the true Velociraptor, we must step away from film sets and travel back more than 70 million years.
Small animals dash between patches of shade, always alert to shadows that might mean a hunter is near.
In the scrubland, something moves differently from the breeze, light, precise, and deliberate. This is Rhea, an accurate Velociraptor, feathered, low to the ground, and built like a deadly ground-hunting bird.
She does not loom over us. She glides through the undergrowth, claws held ready but carefully off the earth.
Feathers wrap her arms and tail, not for flight, but for insulation, display, and fine control of balance. This curved claw is her signature weapon, not always slashing, sometimes used more like a grappling hook or pinning tool.
In this vast landscape, she is not a giant. She survives by seeing first, moving fast. Compared to her cinematic cousin, Rhea is smaller, but no less dangerous to the animals that share her world. Her eyes face forward like those of an eagle, giving her depth perception to judge distance in a chase or strike. From her point of view, the world is a maze of cover and opportunity, every rock and plant a possible shield or springboard. When she commits, she explodes into motion,
a flash of muscle and feathers streaking toward her target. Not every hunt ends in a kill. The desert is full of escapes, near misses, and lessons learned.
She wastes no time on frustration, simply searching for the next chance in a landscape of hard limits.
Fossils hint that some raptors may have hunted or at least moved together, not as disciplined movie packs, but as loose, shifting partnerships.
Short calls and gestures help them keep track of one another, without giving away their position to larger predators.
Together, they can test the edges of a hiding place, one flushing, the other waiting to catch whatever bolts out.
To their prey, they are flashes of claws, whispers in the grass, the shape of danger just beyond the leaves.
Even with teamwork, success is never guaranteed. Survival is built on many attempts, not perfect hunts.
One of her most famous neighbors is Protoceratops, a beaked plant eater with a sturdy frill and powerful jaws.
Though far from gigantic, Protoceratops is no easy target. Its beak can crush bone, and its body is solid and stubborn.
If she dares to test them, she must choose carefully. A youngster at the fringe, an angle where she can strike and retreat quickly.
Rather than die on a single bad idea, she saves her energy for hunts better suited to her size.
Some fossils suggest raptors brooded or guarded nests, hinting at parental care more like birds than lizards.
Here, Rhea's feathers become more than decoration. They turn her into a living blanket, warmth and protection wrapped around future hunters. Inside thin shells, new claws and feathers wait for their first breath of ancient desert air. The first moments of life are fragile, a world of smells and warmth, and the steady presence of a watchful parent.
As they grow, they turn play into practice, testing their balance, speed, and courage on safe targets.
Claws and tails must be learned like tools. Even a predator is not born knowing how to use its own body perfectly.
To truly see Velociraptor, we must place it back in its world, a web of tracks, calls, and shadows beneath a merciless sun.
Her feather colors echo the desert itself, a camouflage of earth tones and soft stripes against dunes and stone.
With a quick shake, she clears sand and parasites from her plumage, the way modern birds do after a dust bath.
Her senses are tuned not to thunderous roars, but to tiny betrayals of movement and scent in the undergrowth.
Desert life is not only about hunting, it is about reading the sky and seeking cover before wind and sand become overwhelming.
In dust storms, even claws and teeth offer no advantage, only the ability to find shelter fast.
When the air finally clears, the desert is wiped clean, ready to record a new day's tracks.
Some of these tracks will vanish by morning. A rare few may be buried, preserved, and rediscovered millions of years later. In museums today, we can stand inches from those fossil footsteps, our eyes connecting directly with a journey long finished.
Before fossils reach the display hall, they pass through labs where rock is carefully peeled away from bone.
Each claw we admire on screen begins here as a fragile object in need of patient, delicate work. Scientists measure, scan, and compare, turning hard stone into data that tells us how the living animal moved, ate, and sensed its world. From the inside of the skull, we learn that Velociraptor likely had sharp senses and good balance, but not necessarily movie-style superintelligence.
One extraordinary fossil captures a Velociraptor and a Protoceratops frozen mid-struggle. Claws and beak.
Here we see that famous claw not in a kitchen corridor, but buried in the side of a compact, powerful herbivore.
And the Protoceratops did not go quietly. Its beak holds the raptor even in death, a reminder that prey can fight back.
Perhaps a collapsing dune or sudden storm buried them where they fought, preserving a single desperate moment across deep time.
From bones alone, artists and scientists work together to bring that struggle back to life for our imagination.
It is a brutal but natural contest, not evil versus good, but hunger versus survival on both sides. Her body is a collection of clever tools: feathers for control, claws for anchoring, teeth for finding weak spots. And every attack invites counterattack. Jaws and beaks can turn a meal into a mutual disaster.
Now, what was once a violent struggle is a quiet centerpiece behind glass, teaching us about both predator and prey.
Side by side, we can see the difference. Film builds stories around human fear, while fossils tell stories about animal survival.
Nova chases us through metal corridors, turning every human-made space into a hunting ground.
Rhea chases lizards and small dinosaurs across sand and scrub, anchored in a world with no steel or glass. Birds are not just distant cousins, they are living dinosaurs, especially close to small feathered hunters like Velociraptor. Legs, hips, and even wishbones repeat the same patterns, telling us that flight evolved from animals that once hunted on the ground.
Her style is closer to a ground owl ambush or a fox pounce than to a motorcycle chase.
She reads smells and small impressions in the soil, a tracker built for subtlety rather than spectacle.
At rare pools, hunters and hunted come together with shared thirst, every sip a risk.
Next to bigger predators, she is no queen of the food chain, and instinct tells her when to vanish.
At dusk, their silhouettes blend into the cooling sands, shadows hunting within shadows. Feathers catch the sunset, turning these small predators into living brushstrokes across the horizon. At night, her world shrinks to the circle of warmth she can offer the young lives pressed against her.
Even here, the future claws and teeth are already present, wrapped in softness and safety. Modern scans reveal knobs on the arm bones where feathers once anchored, proof carved into the skeleton itself.
If we strip away exaggeration and add what the bones demand, the movie monster collapses into a lean, feathered hunter.
Some films now add feathers and more accurate proportions, slowly updating their raptors to match new science.
Artists and scientists can work together, balancing fear, excitement, and truth on the same canvas.
Even a smaller, feathered raptor can be unnerving in tight spaces. Accuracy does not remove suspense. What changes is not the tension, but the story we tell ourselves about what kind of animal we are watching.
Real understanding grows at the crossroads of film, fossils, and carefully tested guesses.
The picture of Velociraptor has changed over time, as each new fossil adds a brushstroke to the portrait.
Old drawings once showed it naked and reptilian. Newer art wraps it in feathers and grace.
Science is allowed to change its mind, and our mental image of Velociraptor has evolved along with the evidence. No matter what we once imagined, the real animal remains impressive, fast, agile, and finely tuned for its harsh home. Each step balances on small points of contact, claws and toes working like springs and spikes.
She can also hunt with patience, listening for small lives hiding just beneath the surface.
To her, the burrow is not a safe home, but a box that might hold the next meal. As light fades, she uses vantage points to watch both for prey and for larger threats.
Seen in outline, she looks less like a dragon and more like a fierce, earthbound hawk from another age.
Today, children can stand beneath those bones and watch digital feathers grow over them, seeing both the skeleton and the living creature at once.
Movies often sell us fear. Science can teach us respect.
Feathered, small, quick, smart for its time. A desert hunter with a bird-like mind and body.
Larger, scalier, sharper in both tooth and mind, built to chase us through nightmares and popcorn halls. Both versions matter, but for different reasons. One thrills us, the other teaches us.
Nova belongs to the world of lenses and scripts. where every movement is made to be watched by us.
Rhea belongs to a world that never knew we would one day exist, let alone watch her in high definition.
Between her time and ours lie mass extinctions, the rise of birds, and the slow curiosity of our own species. Today, her closest living echoes beat their wings in our skies, watching from telephone poles and forest edges. In every leap of a hawk and every laser-focused gaze of an owl, a hint of Velociraptor's legacy remains.
So when we say real Velociraptor, we should imagine feathers, desert sands, and a hunter no taller than a large dog.
And when we say movie raptor, we can still enjoy the thunderous, scaled-up villain built to stalk the silver screen. What matters is knowing which story we are watching and why it was told.
Movies ignite curiosity, and fossils answer questions that curiosity creates.
Every labeled bone is one more piece of the puzzle, one more reason to adjust our mental picture of this swift predator.
When we close our eyes and imagine Velociraptor now, we can place it here, in the sands and scrub, where it truly lived. Her victories are small but crucial. Each meal another day borrowed from the desert's indifference.
There are also quiet evenings, when claws are sheathed and the only sound is breathing and wind. In those moments, she is not a villain or hero, just a living creature that wants to survive until the next sunrise.
On the screen, Nova will always roar, leap through fire, and chase us in ways reality never allowed.
In the fossil record, Rhea's life was quieter but no less dramatic, written in sand, bone, and feather.
So now, when you hear the word Velociraptor, what image rises first in your mind? For many of us, that image is changing, blending movie magic with a deeper respect for the creature behind the costume.
Exhibits now tell that story openly, inviting us to update our inner dinosaur dictionary.
But at the center of it all stands a small, feathered hunter, more bird than beast to our modern eyes.
And as we leave her exhibit, more dinosaur stories wait around the corner. Every skeleton we pass is a doorway to another chapter in Earth's deep history.
Velociraptor's bones may be small compared to some giants, but her impact on our imagination is enormous.
This has been Sharp Claw Lightning, Cambius, Real Velociraptor, and the Movie Myth.
If you enjoyed walking this line between film and fossil, there are many more journeys waiting.
Subscribe to keep exploring the truth and legend behind dinosaurs we think we already know.
From stone claw to living claw in our imagination, Velociraptor will keep running as long as we keep asking questions. Somewhere in the sands of our minds, she is still running, still hunting, still watching.
A small, feathered flash of lightning across the late Cretaceous sky.
Thank you for following her tracks, from film set to fossil bed.
If this story left a claw mark in your imagination, like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep the journey going.
There are many more dinosaurs to meet, and many more myths to unravel.
Between lightning and legend, between feather and film, Velociraptor will always run.
This chapter ends here, but the age of raptors continues, wherever curiosity sparks in the dark.